Ricken Financial presents Kickin' with the Rickens, redefining retirement. Gerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost want to help you reach the retirement you deserve. Let's build a strategy that gives you the confidence while meeting your financial wants and needs. Meet the team at rickenfinancial.com. Now, Kickin' with the Rickens.
I mean, let's make it official. That would be retirement planner Heidi Ricken Provost alongside licensed insurance professional Gerry Ricken. Welcome out to the Kickin' with the Rickens podcast. My name is Mark Owens. Get all the information here in the show notes. How are y'all doing? You thawed out a little bit from this Arctic blast that never seems to end?
Okay, actually, yes, because for the first time in 10 days this week, we were above freezing.
Congrats.
Yes, it felt like summer yesterday.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was like 36.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry's
It was
out in the
incredible.
front yard
Today
in
is going to be a high
shorts.
of 34, I think. So it's awesome.
How did you handle that? Like, because I know for us, and we've talked about this before, we
You
had
put a coat on.
Okay.
Gotta appreciate the honesty. We shut down. Atlanta shuts down, even with a little bit of snow and or ice, and we shut down. For you guys, it's just like it's a Tuesday.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You know, when we actually have the precipitation, people kind of don't leave their homes and everything, but like within a day, we're back up and running. But there were a few people that did cancel on us because they didn't want to leave their house in the cold.
Because it was cold.
I get it.
Yeah.
That's, and I get that.
I get that too, because, you know, Stephen and I have to like shove stuff in our doorways and everything so that we don't have more drafty wind coming in our 100-plus-year-old home. But, you know, it is what it is. You just curl up under a heated blanket and you're good to go.
We're going to talk about routine here in just a couple of seconds because everybody's routine has to change with the weather. Real quick, last weekend, one of my friends celebrated her 50th birthday, and we got a cabin up on the Lake Lanier, and we've been there before. Beautiful, big old house right on the water, 2-story dock. The kids would go out there and play. We'd sit up top, listen to music, have cocktails. Really fun way to spend and celebrate birthdays and events. And we went up there this weekend. Well, we also got hit by that snowstorm. So it was like deadliest catch out there. The wind was blowing sideways. It was snowing. It was like 15 degrees. The wind chill was about 5 degrees. And then on top, so we're fine. We're in the house. We've got everything we need. We got a pool table. We got a hot tub. But then we lost the internet too. So you've got a house of about 20 people.
You have to talk to each other now.
Oh, my God. First world problems. Those poor kids.
So we had to celebrate 90s style and play card games, play board games, have cocktails. And you're right. Talk to each other. And I can't lie. I kind of liked it. It was a lot of fun.
That sounds amazing, actually.
Absolutely.
It was refreshing and relaxing. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about routines.
Let's talk about routines. You know, Mark, I want to talk about a routine that started in 1887.
Yeah.
And that routine is every February 2nd, a little rodent comes out in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, and declares whether or not it's going to be an early spring or we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter weather. That happened this week, and I'm ready to put him on the barbecue pit because he said 6 more weeks.
Okay, this is all a bunch of show anyway.
Oh, I truly believe in him.
Okay, whatever. Every year that groundhog, I mean, how does a groundhog see its shadow anyway? The groundhog can't see anything. It's ridiculous.
You're underestimating the power of Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Punxsutawney Phil. It has everything to do with like the Farmer's Almanac or something, probably.
It does.
I mean, this is still ridiculous. There have been years they said we're going to have the never-ending winter, and we've been fine. You know what? I would love to become a meteorologist. You know why?
Why?
Because you could be wrong every single day and still get paid.
Right.
But I also would hate that because I don't want to be wrong. I want to do everything right from the get-go.
Well, plus people would be upset with you more often than not.
Oh, yeah, of course.
When you can't change the weather. You can't predict the weather.
But you can tell people when to go buy all of the bread and the milk and the eggs and the bananas so you can make bananas French toast.
That meteorologists have been compromised by big bread.
Meteorologists are in cahoots with the grocery industry?
It's not just the grocery industry. It's simple carb industry.
No.
Because let's be real, we live in a society where people do not eat simple carbs because we all are, focusing on our healthy habits, whether it's the dry January habit that a lot of people do, or, each day you figure out what your routine is going to be. So you eat a little bit healthier, you lose a little bit of weight, you do all the things, you move your body more. And then all of a sudden it snows or there's a threat of snow and everyone eats white bread that they have not consumed in a decade.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
What is it about weather that makes us drink wine and eat bread?
Yeah.
Right.
By the way, Gerry, just to let you know, Punxsutawney Phil, his success rate, 35%. 35%.
Hey,
you know what?
I was right.
And you know what? He'd be in the All-Star game. with a 350 average.
It's still not horrible, I guess. It's a great way to look at you glass half full. Even when he's wrong most of the time, he's still a Hall of Famer.
It's not even half. His glass is always full.
My glass is always overflowing.
Let's talk about routine and how it affects adults to and through retirement, approaching retirement. Heidi, in your everyday life, your routine is also changing. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I spent 36 or so years of my life, 35 years of my life as a night owl, and I hated the mornings. And on this health journey I'm on, part of it started with a trainer that could only see me at 6 a.m. So that is not conducive to a night owl environment. So I have developed a new routine where I actually go to bed at a reasonable hour. I stop looking at screens a little bit beforehand too, so that I sleep better. I'm actually tired when I go to bed, so I fall asleep because I wake up early. Mm-hmm. And I'm spending some time journaling and doing, some religious readings and working on my faith in the morning. And then I work out. And then before that, when I do my journaling and everything, I'm drinking lukewarm water with lemon, a little bit of Celtic salt, and raw honey. And, getting things activated with my metabolism first. And then after I work out, I drink my coffee. So every part of my routine has changed. And I never, ever thought I'd be sitting here saying I became a morning person, but I really kind of am enjoying the mornings. And yeah, it's tiny little steps that become the big things over time. You have to work hard to change a routine because we're creatures of habit. And my hard work is paying off.
How do you feel like with all these little changes that you've implemented into your life? Did it take, because they say, what's the old cliche, do something for 2 weeks, then it becomes not a habit, but it becomes part of your lifestyle. Mm-hmm. How do you feel physically, mentally, professionally?
I feel fantastic. I didn't realize how bad I felt for so long until I feel good now. I have so much more mental clarity, especially when I move before getting to the office in the mornings. I'm able to handle a lot more throughout the day. I have more energy. It's really kind of amazing what your body is capable of when you feed it properly and you take care of it. Our office has so many plants in here. And for as much care as you give to the plants, you need to give that much care to yourself too. Yeah,
True. Water and sunlight. Yeah. Water and sunlight. You too. What about you, Gerry? Let's talk about your routine, like over the years, with Ricken Financial, how you serve the community, the families that you build, retirement strategies for. What does your routine look like? How has it changed?
Mark, it changed quite a bit when I started Ricken Financial because, you're on your own. Mm-hmm. You're not relying on a paycheck from anyone else. You're relying on your own ability to generate income and to help people. And when you do that, you have to change a lot of things. And you have to be self-motivated, and you have to say, okay, what's the best? You take an enlightened self-interest. And what enlightened self-interest is, if it's best for everybody else, it'll eventually be best for me. So I always look at that, and I look at the clients and see how can we help them with their routines. Do they know what they're spending? A lot of people don't know what they're spending. And when they find out and they sit down with us and they say, okay, my gosh, hold it. You're going to Quick Trip every day? I didn't know that. And you're spending $5 a day at Quick Trip. And then the other one says, well, hold it. You're eating this pizza from Casey's. It's like things
we're here to help with a little bit of counseling at times too.
Yes, we do. We are, but we do a lot of listening, but then we a lot of things come to light in our sessions, and it's okay if you have that routine, if you understand what that routine is doing for you or against you financially. So as long as you understand it and can appreciate it and see value in it, continue your routine. But the day you see, my gosh, this is hurting me financially, or it's hurting us financially, maybe we should think about changing things. Maybe we should think about taking our food, our lunch to work, as opposed to buying lunch out. Mm-hmm. Because if you purchase lunch at any point in time at any restaurant lately, you can no longer take a $10 bill. First of all, they won't accept cash. You cannot just spend $10 on lunch. It's more than that for one person. Well, that can add up. So it's little things like that to focus on your routine and your financial routine. What are you spending? Because a lot of people, that's what really matters. It's what you spend. Because what you spend, we need to make sure that we have income plans designed to help cover all those expenses. Yeah. So, it's just a matter of just thinking about what you're doing and doing the right thing for your family.
And it starts with us and our routines. I find I used to be, what did you call it? Enlightened
self-interest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I used to only think about others and not myself, and be like, okay, if I keep doing this and caring for this facet of this, and only looking outside and not internally. And for decades of doing that, putting myself last, I got in a pretty terrible health, situation and had more than 100 pounds to lose because of it. And now that I put my health first and my faith first and my family first, and then everything else thereafter, which, by the way, number 4 is my clients. But when you foundationally change everything, it turns out that I'm actually better suited at caring for my clients because I have given myself the care too. So I think we spend a lot of time too meeting with our clients and helping them peel back the curtain for, our first question is, when you're working right now, is it feeding your soul and bringing you joy? Because you spend more time at work than you do at home. And if that's answer is not yes, then we help you make the changes that are necessary, because life is way too short.
Yeah.
Then when you go to retire, what do you want to do with your time? Because your routine is going to change dramatically overnight. And we want you to be in a healthy and happy routine. So, we spend a lot of time walking through that, but we had to walk the walk so that we can talk the talk too.
That's so true.
And so I would say we spend probably 3/4 of our time in all of our meetings talking about routine. So let's talk about some of the routines we spend our time chatting with people about. And it's not just what do you want to do with your time, because that is paramount and what's most important. But as Gerry said too, what are your financial routines? Mm-hmm. So right now, if you're working, are you saving for the future? What do those savings look like? And so many of us got caught up in the routine of saving in our traditional funds. So if you have something at work, a 401k, a TSP plan, whatever it may be, so many of us got caught up in the routine because when you started, you didn't have a Roth option. So you stuck it all in traditional, and you just got stuck in that routine of, oh, I get the tax break now and I'm going to be better off in the future, blah, blah, blah. Well, in reality, you probably will be better off. We'd have to run the numbers. Mm-hmm. It's not a blanket advice for every person. But most likely, if you save in a Roth first with compounded growth in the future, being tax-free, it could put you in a better tax situation in the future if you save in Roth versus traditional. But do you know how hard it is to break a habit that you've been doing for 30 plus years?
Well, and a lot of people, when you go into those 403Bs, 401Ks, TSP plans, you do it once. When you sign up as an employee, and you never think about it. And it just does become a part of your routine, because it's not that you haven't thought about the Roth option. You just don't even know about it. Yeah. You just,
and when you make that big change from traditional to Roth, your withholdings change. And that means your paycheck that comes in
changes
every 2 weeks or twice a month or whatever, that dollar amount changes. And we're really uncomfortable, it turns out, when you have to do change.
Right. Because there is a fear when you change things, and it's uncomfortable, as Heidi said. But sometimes we just have to get out of our comfort zone to be able to grow. And it's all about growth and growth with your financial life should be no different than any part of your other life.
Yeah.
Growing financially. And I don't mean just growing your nest egg. I mean doing things the right way and doing things the smart way and doing things the most tax efficient way. So those are the things that
you have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And the uncomfiness comes from a change of your routine. But if you set it and forget it and you never change your financial routine in all of your working years, then you go to retire. How on earth are you supposed to just wake up one day and completely change your financial world and find comfort in it? The fact of the matter is our world changes every single day. Throughout the day, we have economic changes and market changes and tax law changes and so many changes being thrown our way that if we just stay the course, we set it and forget it, and we never adapt to any of the changes that could probably benefit us in the future, then we're not setting ourselves up for success in the future. So it's our job to help you find comfort in the uncomfortable, in those changes, because if you just set it and forget it, you could set yourself up for maybe an okay retirement, but we want you to have the best possible retirement in the future. Yeah. And it's going to come from finding comfort in the change and adapting to the world that we're living in. Because, if we were sitting here 35 years ago, you didn't have a Roth option at work, but you do now. And, if that's going to be the best option for you to save for the future, great. Our opportunities for where we're going to stick our emergency funds change on a daily basis. There's so much happening that if you try to sit back and DIY it, you're probably going to find yourself stuck in that routine where you're not making any changes. You're just setting it and forgetting it and hoping that things work out in the future. But with a little bit of professional help, you can make some beautiful things happen. And, if you have someone to rely on, you actually can find comfort in the uncomfortable.
And it doesn't cost you anything to just talk to us.
Yeah.
Just sitting down and having a conversation, and maybe we are the right fit, maybe we're not the right fit for you as your financial professionals, but just sitting down and having a conversation won't cost you a nickel, and our planning doesn't cost you anything either. And you don't know what you don't know if you're DIYing it.
It's like you took the words out of my mouth. I was just getting ready to say that. You don't know what you don't know. So come check it out and see if the routine you're following is the best routine for you, or if you need to switch it up a little bit.
You said something a little bit earlier, Heidi, that just hit the nail on the head. We want to help you find comfort in change, because as you start building your retirement strategy, things are going to change within your portfolio. And then once you get to retirement, you finally reach the pinnacle, everything you've worked for. Well, then your entire routine changes. You're not clocking in. You're not sitting in traffic every day. You're not in meetings. What's next? They want to help you feed your soul at Ricken Financial. By the way, I stole that. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were talking about what makes you happy. And just instinctively, muscle memory, I was like, we got to make sure you do something that feeds your soul. Copyright Heidi Ricken.
Very good.
Copyright Gerry Ricken. So thanks for that. I'll pay you guys.
Very proud of you, Mark.
That one.
Never
steal it any day.
But to get more information and to begin these conversations, remember that initial consultation, no cost, no obligation from the team at Ricken Financial if you've saved at least $500,000 or more for your financial future. Find the phone number, find the website, find all of it here in the show notes. Well, Heidi Ricken, Provost, Gerry Ricken, thank you. Thank you for the education. Thank you for the information. And thank you for streaming Kicking with the Rickens podcast. We are back next week. But before we get out of here, y'all take us home.
Every day's a holiday.
Life is short. Laugh hard.
This has been Kicking with the Rickens, redefining retirement.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Ricken Financial LLC. Ricken Financial LLC is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Ricken Financial LLC are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Ricken Financial LLC is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Ricken Financial LLC.
Please remember that converting an employer plan account to a Roth IRA is a taxable event. Increased taxable income from the Roth IRA conversion may have several consequences. Be sure to consult with a qualified tax advisor before making any decisions regarding your IRA.
Tax preparation and tax advisory services are offered through Ricken Financial. These services are not offered by IPW and are not subject to investment advisor requirements. These services referenced are an outside business activity not offered through or supervised by IPW.